We're counting down the 10 home upgrades homeowners wish they could take back. From projects that quietly drain your bank account to trendy fixes that tank resale value and even trigger legal nightmares, this list ranks the most regretted renovations by real financial loss, lasting damage, and everyday headaches. Which upgrade tops the regret scale? Let's begin with number 10. Mark and Jenna thought they had created the ultimate hangout by transforming their basement into a full-blown nightclub, complete with neon lights and a built-in bar. But when it came time to sell, the party stopped cold. 3 potential buyers walked away after touring the space, each one put off by the permanent club vibe. Their agent advised the only way to move the listing was to drop the price by $20,000 to $30,000. Their days on the market stretched as buyers calculated the cost to undo the theme. According to their realtor, highly personal, irreversible upgrades like this are a classic resale anchor, fun to live with, but expensive to leave behind. Priya wanted that open-concept kitchen she saw on Instagram, so she hired a contractor to take out the wall between her kitchen and dining room, but the wall was load-bearing, and removing it triggered a cascade of hidden costs. The engineering assessment alone cost $1,800. The steel beam, permits, and temporary shoring pushed the total to nearly $15,000, well above the original quote. With the space now wide open, her HVAC system struggled to keep temperatures even, increasing her energy bills. Designers warn that sightlines can backfire too, turning cozy rooms into awkward, echoing spaces with no privacy. What seemed like a simple upgrade quickly became a structural and financial headache. Carlos's kitchen was the envy of his Instagram followers, with deep blue cabinets, gold fixtures, and a custom island that looked straight out of a design magazine. But when he listed his home, the excitement faded fast. Major kitchen remodels like Carlos's recover just 38% of their cost at resale, according to national data. Buyers hesitated, worried about clashing styles and the expense of undoing bold choices. His home sat on the market 45 days longer than similar listings, and he eventually had to cut the asking price by $15,000 to get an offer. A seasoned realtor explained that buyers pay for function and layout, not personal taste. Minor kitchen updates such as neutral paint, new hardware, and quality appliances deliver far better returns and broader appeal. In the end, Carlos's kitchen became a cautionary tale in the paradox of high-dollar, low return on investment upgrades. Diane's living room once featured original oak hardwood, solid, warm, and built to last. She decided to modernize, ripping out the hardwood and installing low-cost laminate planks. At first, the new floors looked sharp, but within 2 years, corners peeled and scratches multiplied. When Diane called an appraiser to refinance, the news hit hard. The downgrade cost her between $10,000 and $25,000 in home value. Laminate, unlike hardwood, cannot be sanded or refinished. Once it is worn, it is done. An appraiser explained, buyers pay a premium for original materials. Replacing hardwood with laminate is like trading a vintage watch for plastic. Diane later admitted she wished she had spent half as much to refinish the old floors, preserving both the character and the value of her home. Ryan and May needed more workspace, so they turned their 2-car garage into a sleek home office. The result looked impressive, until winter arrived and street parking became a daily headache. Their neighbors grumbled about crowded curbs, and every holiday season brought a new storage crisis. When they listed the house, buyers balked at the missing garage, worried about where to keep cars and sports gear. data shows garage conversions typically recover only 60% to 70% of their cost at resale. In many markets, buyers penalize homes that lose parking, sometimes walking away entirely. One contractor points out that a better option is a permitted bump out or a detached shed, preserving garage function while adding space. If conversion is unavoidable, built-in storage and clear documentation of permits can soften the blow. Still, Ryan and May's experience is a reminder: sacrificing utility areas often means trading daily convenience for future value, for a short-term fix. Nora fell in love with a retro pink tile bathroom topped off by a mirrored ceiling, a look straight out of a vintage magazine. For a few years it felt playful, but as trends shifted, so did the mood. By the 7th year, the once charming pink tile screamed dated, and the mirrored ceiling made every visitor cringe. When Nora tried to sell, buyers factored in the full cost of gutting the space. Estimates for retiling and new fixtures ran $8,000 to $12,000. An appraiser noted that homes with outmoded permanent finishes often linger on the market and sell for less, sometimes discounted by the cost of renovation or more. Designers warn that trend-heavy tile and built-ins have a shelf life of 5 to 10 years at best. Their advice is simple: keep permanent surfaces neutral and use paint, art, or accessories for bold statements you can swap out when the next trend arrives. Tony wanted to save a few $1,000s, so he decided to upgrade his home's electrical panel himself. No permit, no licensed electrician, just a YouTube tutorial and a lot of misplaced confidence. When a wiring fault set off a fire scare, Tony called his insurance company for help. They sent an adjuster who spotted the unpermitted panel right away, and the claim was denied. Tony was on the hook not just for repairs, but for bringing the entire system up to code. The remediation bill landed between $3,000 and $7,000, and the sale of his house stalled for 6 weeks while a licensed electrician pulled permits and rewired the panel to city standards. According to a municipal inspector, insurance companies can, and do, deny claims if damage traces back to unpermitted work. The lesson is blunt. Permits and licensed pros aren't optional. Cutting corners on safety systems can cost you your insurance, your sale, and your peace of mind. Dana's dream of year-round luxury started with a contractor's promise and a glossy brochure. An indoor pool, climate-controlled and sparkling, just steps from her kitchen. The installation cost nearly matched the price of a new car, but the real surprise came with the first year's bills. Maintaining the pool, heating, chemicals, cleaning ran between $1,000 and $3,000 per year, and her homeowner's insurance premium jumped by nearly 20%. When she called her agent about resale value, the answer landed hard. Indoor pools typically recoup less than 45% of their original cost, even in high-end neighborhoods. One local investor said he skips any listing with a pool, calling it a liability, not a perk. Dana's weekends became a cycle of filter checks and humidity control, and every showing brought the same buyer questions about upkeep and safety. She later admitted she would have preferred a spa-quality bathroom or heated floors, features that feel indulgent but don't drain the wallet or scare off buyers. The indoor pool, once a symbol of luxury, became a cautionary tale in ongoing costs and limited appeal. Luis thought a stone patio would bring his backyard to life, but the first step, removing a towering 60-year-old maple, set off a chain reaction he never expected. The city cited him for violating its tree preservation ordinance, and the fine landed at $2,500, with no chance of appeal. That was just the beginning. Without the tree's broad canopy, the patio baked in the summer sun, and Luis's air conditioning bills jumped by nearly $200 that first year. The loss of shade also made the living room noticeably hotter, and the grass along the patio's edge turned brittle and brown. Maintenance did not let up either. The new stonework needed resealing every spring, and weeds crept up through the joints no matter how much he spent on treatments. A local landscaper explained that mature trees add real value, not just curb appeal, but lower cooling costs and a sense of permanence buyers notice. Luis now wishes he would have worked around the maple, pruning and planting understory instead. The patio, once a dream, became a lesson in how one irreversible decision can echo across an entire property. Aisha wanted her new house to feel like the future. She hired a specialist to install a hardwired smart home system with lights, locks, and the thermostat all controlled by a single app. For a while, everything worked seamlessly. But 5 years later, the manufacturer stopped updating the software, and new devices would not connect. When the kitchen panel failed, she got bad news. The system was proprietary, and no other brand could replace the broken parts. The only fix was to rip out the wiring, reopen the walls, and start over with a new platform. The quote came in at $6,800. Buyers saw the system as a ticking time bomb, not a selling point. One buyer even asked for a credit to cover a full replacement. Home automation experts warn that tech moves faster than construction. Today's closed system is tomorrow's orphaned gadget. Industry groups now recommend using open standards like Matter and Thread, or running empty conduit behind the walls for future upgrades. Integrators say the smartest move is not the flashiest system, but the one you can swap out when the next wave of tech arrives. For Aisha, the lesson was clear. Vendor lock-in can turn a smart home into a permanent headache, one that is expensive to fix, impossible to hide, and guaranteed to scare off the next owner. Across all these costly missteps, one pattern stands out. Regret thrives where impulse outpaces research. 74% of renovators wish they'd slowed down, planned smarter, or asked tougher questions. In home upgrades, the biggest risk isn't the expense. It's forgetting that lasting value comes from informed decisions, not fleeting trends.